Chippewa hockey is on CCHN.
Oh my goodness!
The place to watch men's Division III.
Here's Connor Morgan out in front for Porzundek. He scores!
And women's Division II.
Burnett's gonna get a shot and goal, and she scores!
Every shift, every goal, every game.
Central Michigan has turned the corner.
All in one place. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Good evening, folks, and welcome in to Munn Ice Arena on the campus of Michigan State University, where tonight the Michigan State Spartans open up their season against the undefeated Central Michigan Chippewas. Welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Anthony Schulte, joined alongside my broadcast partner and good buddy, Derek Steele.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too, man. It's going to be a good one here today. Derek, this Central Michigan team is coming into this one off an impressive weekend against Northern Michigan.
Yeah, Anthony, this has been a really impressive season so far for the Central Michigan team. The thing that's really impressed me, though, is the way these freshmen have played. I know last Saturday I mentioned that it was going to be so hard to top last year's freshman class. Well, Anthony, I'd like to argue through at least one weekend, they've done that plus more. Annie Castor, Sandra Biankowski, Chloe Darche, Tate Hutchinson, all of those players have been huge impacts for this Central Michigan team.
They have, and it's been impressive to see not only last year having a good freshman class, but even this year having a good freshman class, and being able to have them come in and seamlessly fit in with the team.
Yeah, and I think that really talks a lot to how good of a head coach and at recruiting head coach Chris Haney is we've seen players like a Kylie Delray, like a Zoe Saudi, a Gabriella Nixon. You talk about this year, Annie Castor, Sandra Biankowski, who will get to both of those players in a minute. But it shows how good at recruiting Chris Haney is, and it shows you the culture that they're building for the Central Michigan team. We talked about it last week, their first trip to the national tournament in Boston, Massachusetts. These players want to win, and there's a winning attitude within the Central Michigan locker room, and I think even if you go back 2 years ago, that's something that you couldn't say.
That winning attitude brought a very, very impressive win on Sunday against Northern Michigan. Here's a little game recap. First period, power play goals by Chloe Valente of Northern Michigan and Mac Barnett of CMU. 2-1 CMU lead, and then second period, more power play goals by Valente and Kylie Delray, 3-2 CMU lead.
Yeah, and I think that's been a really key factor for Central Michigan, and something we talked about, especially second semester, especially down the stretch for Central Michigan, going into the CCWHA tournament, going into the national tournament. We talked about their power play struggling, and we talked about them not being able to take advantage of the other team's mistakes. Well, going 2 for 5 on Sunday on the advantage, has been really good numbers. That sits at about a 40% power play so far for Central Michigan, which is exactly where you want it. It's a huge improvement from last season.
The third period, Chloe Valente scored a shorthanded goal, and then Annie Castor, the aforementioned Annie Castor, scored an empty net for her second career goal in 2 games, and that's a 6-4 CMU win.
Huge win by Central Michigan, and I really like how they were able to go through adversity. We talked about 4 goals. It was a hat trick by Chloe Valente, but they were able to overcome a lot of adversity, which is something you really like to see from this team, especially a team that has 10 new players, 9 new skaters, plus a new goalie, is you see them not being able to gel together at first, taking some time to get used to how each other play on the ice, and it's the complete opposite for this CMU team. Is they have just gelled on the ice, and talking to the players, they love spending time together on and off the ice, which is something huge, and that's something I think that we're going to see pay off dividends as the season goes on. But taking a look at the CCWHA standings, thank you for the little nudge there, Anthony.
You're welcome there, sir.
It's Central Michigan paying dividends, that chemistry paying dividends for them already, as there's Bree Murmaluk walking past us. Can we get you for a pregame interview, Bree? Okay, let's get Bree Murmaluk on here.
Awesome.
She can
Spur
take
of the
my
moment.
spot. As she walks on here, we will go over the CCWHA tournament in a moment. It's Central Michigan at first place. We'll give Bree the mic. Here you go, Bree.
Thank you. Do you want me to sit over here?
Yeah, you can
I welcome right over here.
Awesome.
Spur of the moment interview here. Hi, Bree. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you
It's
too.
amazing atmosphere. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere here. It's an NCAA rink. What are you guys most excited for coming into this one?
Definitely just like coming in knowing that we want to dominate. We kind of see MSU as like a rival, almost like each year we come here like we've always wanted to win. Like having our first year here with Chris Haney as our coach, it wasn't the outcome we wanted, but as we progressed, it was like State knew they didn't have that advantage anymore, and I think this year it's going to be like kind of like a bloodbath almost, because it's like last year we clinched on, like we gave them like that defeat. It really destroyed their mentality, I think, for the rest of their season. So I'm really hoping that our girls can prove it, and I think they will.
What's one thing that you guys are looking for coming into this matchup here tonight with Michigan State? One thing you guys are looking to do very well on the ice?
Chemistry. I think our chemistry is finally gelling more. It's getting there. Seeing how our different lines, we're going to switch it up a little bit with placement, see what that's going to do. I'm personally interested to see like how that's going to look, like seeing how practices have been going and how the last game went. It's definitely going to tell if this is going to be a factor in how this game goes, and I really think it's just up to our girls. Like, if they want it, they're going to make it happen.
All right, Bree, thank you for joining us here. Spur of the moment interview. We're going to bring Derek back in to go over CCWHA standings. Thank you very much for sitting down with us here
so much,
on
Bree.
CCHN, the pregame show. As Derek just kicked his mic down, and Derek will be back with us momentarily here as we're going to go over the CCWHA
There we go.
standings.
Am I
There we are,
back?
Derek.
I am back.
We're back, Derek. Here we are. Let's not step on that again. Welcome back in.
And now it's prepping. We got a whole mosh flash of chords going on here.
We're live though. We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
But looking at the CCWHA tournament, it's Central Michigan, Lawrence Tech, and Northern Michigan all tied with 4 points, but Central Michigan does have that tiebreaker over the Wildcats and the Blue Devils. Bowling Green at 1-1 sitting at 2 points. Miami University 1-2-1 for 2 points. And then Notre Dame, Michigan State, Aurora, Sioux College, Adrian, and Loyola Chicago all waiting to play their first action as some warm-ups have started happening. Both teams have taken the ice behind us. And you know what that means, Anthony?
It's almost time for hockey.
It's almost time for hockey. But looking around the CCWHA, Miami does play Maryville. They will start in about half an hour. And Michigan Dearborn, as there's a cowbell. A different addition here as Bree Mermeluk rings the cowbell. But Michigan Dearborn and Lawrence Tech go head-to-head 8 p.m. first game of a home-and-home series for them.
I think what's really impressive about those standings is in just 1 weekend of play, 2 weekends total, Central Michigan sees themselves at the top of those standings.
Yeah, totally. And I think that talks to a lot about how what Bree talked about is them being able to gel on the ice and being able to play together very well.
Well, after this short break, we're going to take a look at both these squads and this series history on your home for Chippewa Hockey, CCHN. Welcome back here to Munn Ice Arena, where Michigan State and Central Michigan are just about ready to face off here for you guys today on CCHN. Derek, let's take a look at both these teams.
Let's do it, Anthony. What do you got for us on Central Michigan?
For Central Michigan, they're 2-0 and 0-0. 4 points here so far this season, coming off a sweep of Northern Michigan for the second straight season. And this freshman class has improved through the first weekend.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this Central Michigan team, we've talked a lot about the freshman class. I want to talk about the sophomore class for a second. Gabriella Nixon, Zoe Sadi have both been key contributors. It's been, I know, 2 goals for Nixon on opening night. I can't remember her stat line from the second game off the top of my head, but it's been a really good showing for her. I know Saudi has 2 goals through 2 games, and then obviously Castor Biankowski, 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points on the season so far for Biankowski.
It's a very impressive start, as we've mentioned, for this freshman squad, or the freshman class, excuse me, and also the sophomore class as well. Derek, what do you got on Michigan State?
On Michigan State, Anthony, they have a lot of turnover from last year to this year, including a brand new head coach. Their former assistant coach, Joe Reese, was promoted to the new man in charge behind the bench for the Spartans. This is their first series of the season. And Anthony, this is actually the 3rd season in a row they have opened the season up against Central Michigan. But out of all 3 seasons, both of the first games of the series have been at Martin, so this is the first time they're opening their season up at home.
We'll see if that pays any difference for Michigan State. Looking at the series history since 2018, 6-3 in favor of Michigan State. The last meeting was a 2-1 overtime win for Michigan State at Crystal Fieldhouse, a part of the CCWHA tournament, and 2-1 last season for CMU over these Spartans. CMU won both regular season games, and MSU won in the tournament. Derek, our players to watch for?
Players to watch for, well, Anthony, for Central Michigan, we had to go with the 2 freshmen here. We've talked about them time and time again, Castor and Biankowski. We'll talk about Castor first. 2 goals in 2 games for her so far for 2 points on the season. She's been a big contributing factor to the Central Michigan team. And something I really like about her, Anthony, is she seems to have very good timing on the ice. She's very confident with the puck, but she also knows where she needs to be. For Biankowski, through 2 games, it's 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points. Distributes the puck very well. She's a very unselfish teammate, and those 4 assists can tell the whole story about her. But she also, Anthony, as a freshman, is leading the team in points of the first weekend, which is uncalled for a freshman to do that.
Well, I've got Michigan State here. Our players to watch for Michigan State. Number 8, Reese Heaton. Last season, 23 games played, 15 points, 13 assists 15 goals, 13 assists for 28 points. She was leading the team in points last season and 2 assists against CMU last season. And then our next player, number 16, Christina Barrels. 22 games played, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. She had the game-winning goal in overtime against CMU in that tournament last season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really expecting Barrows and Heaton to be 2 key contributing factors for Michigan State, just like Castor and Biankowski should be for Central Michigan.
Derek, you got our keys to the game?
I do got keys to the game, Anthony. First key to the game is build on momentum gained from last weekend. We were talking to Coach Haney, earlier in the broadcast about the adversity that this team went through for the first weekend. And it was a lot of adversity, especially the second game. So they had to gain a lot of momentum going into this weekend, and that's something we want to see them go on. Second key of the game, keep up the hard work on special teams. 3 for 5 on the penalty, 5 for 7, on the penalty kill, 2 for 5 on the player advantage. So very hard work. Keep that up for Central Michigan. Third key of the game, limit Michigan State's top scorer. We talked about Barrows. We talked about Heaton. There's also some other key scorers. Rebecca Alfano is one that comes to mind for me. So being able to keep them off the score sheet.
Well, scratches here tonight for Central Michigan. Bree Mermalik, Blankenstein, and Zoe Lawrence here tonight for Central Michigan. Those are scratches for Central Michigan. And for MSU, we don't have them yet, so we will get those to you guys as soon as possible when we get them, if we get them. Well, it's almost time for some hockey here.
Woo, I'm excited, Anthony.
3 minutes and 40 seconds until puck drop. Grab some popcorn, grab a cold beverage, and take a seat. Hang out with us for a little bit as we have Michigan State and Central Michigan live on CCHN after this.
starting netminders for tonight's game. First, for your Central Michigan Chippewas, they turn to 29 Lauren Abraham. In her one appearance this year, she has a 1-0 record, no overtime losses, no shutouts, a 1 goal against average, and a .958 save percentage. The Michigan State Spartans will turn to the sophomore out of Northville, Michigan, number 35, Daria Rorick. Anthony, first appearance of the season for her, zeros across the board. Who do you got for the rest of the starting lineups?
The rest of the starting lineups, we'll start with the visiting Central Michigan Chippewas. Number 15, Annie Castor. Number 16, Gabby Lapore. Number 17, Tate Hutchinson. Number 23, Chloe Darche. And number 40, Zoe Bergen. For Michigan State, number 4, Anastasia Oreski. Number 5, Avery Hayes. Number 8, Reese Heaton. Number 16, Christina Barrels. Number 25, Vanessa Larson.
Ooh, I don't know about you, Anthony. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go, Derek. It's going to be a fun game. Chips are fired up down there on the visiting side of the ice. Michigan State ready to go as well. Central Michigan will be wearing maroon with gold lettering, and Michigan State will be wearing white with green lettering. Black pants here tonight. Live from Munn Ice Arena on CCHN. We're glad you chose to spend your Friday night with us, as it'll be Annie Castor and Reese Heaton neutral ice, and Central Michigan will win the face-off. Puck will roll around the Michigan State goal. Battle at the board for it. That's Castor. Taken by the Spartans. Spartans in their own zone. Another battle at those boards.
And Anthony, this is something we've seen Central Michigan do very well at this year, is being able to win these board battles or be able to pin it up against the board for long periods of time. That was a good job of getting it to Hutchinson at the blue line.
Castor and some Spartans fighting for it at the other end across the half boards, and the Spartans will poke it away. Here comes Heaton. Heaton will be poked away once again right there by Lapore, it looked like. Puck will be in the air, poked away again by the Spartans. Here comes Michigan State. Around the side, Michigan State still has it in the CMU zone. It'll be intercepted by Central and across ice. A shot on goal, and that's just off, deflected right there by the Michigan State netminder.
Really good feed there by Zoe Sauty to be able to find Nixon in front of the net. They were able to score on one of those last week against Northern Michigan. A really good find there by Sauty, but unfortunately Nixon was not able to put that against our past Rorick, excuse me.
That'll be around the Michigan State goal. Retrieved by Heaton. Puck will be bouncing in the air. They're going to call an offside.
And that's something, Anthony, we're going to see a lot as this game continues, is the boards are a little bit lower here at Munn. They have to be at NCAA regulation, where at Martin, we see the boards probably, I'm going to say, about 2 to 3 inches higher. So these Central Michigan players are used to having the higher boards and play off the higher boards and glass.
A new line out there for Central Michigan. Shot on goal just off to the left. Battle down low. That's Williams. Michigan State has it. Pass it up. It'll be taken away by Haney. Battling for it, Central and Michigan State. Taken right there by Palmer.
I really like the positioning Palmer had there back on the back check for Central Michigan, as Rorick's going to let this go behind the net. But that's a really good job by her recognizing where the puck was and being able to get back very quickly.
1-on-2, excuse me, for Michigan State. That was Lyons, and it'll be corralled by Abraham in the crease.
Man, I love watching Abraham play in net. Her awareness, her hockey IQ is out of this world. We saw it on full display all of last season when she was healthy. And let me tell you, we were talking to Chris Haney about both of these goalies for Central Michigan, and he said that both of these goalies could be a legitimate first-string goalie on any other team, but they have to battle against each other.
Michigan State threatening right here, back at the blue line. Another battle right there on the board, taken by Central. Here's Hutchinson, excuse me. Hutchinson will try to get it to Simbro. It'll be intercepted by a Spartan. Central battling for it, they retain in their own zone. Here's Hutchinson. Hutchinson with it. She'll pass it up to Simbro. We poked Ray, she'll be shoved down. And play will continue. Pass it along the board to try and get it up to Fleeser. Isabel Fleeser in her first game here this season.
That was a really good job by Fleeser. Isabel walks out.
Shot just right, of the goal.
And going back to my point, that was a really good job of Fleeser being able to poke check that puck, as icing will not be called as Whitus is able to catch up to the puck, but really good job by Fleeser on that poke check in the offensive zone.
Whitus to Hutchinson. Hutchinson will try to get it to Bergen and be picked off by the Spartans. Bergen will poke it down the ice. And it'll be another battle down in the right-hand corner of your screen. Puck will break free, and that's Heaton with it for the Spartans. Poked away right there by Darche. Tried to wrap it around, couldn't get it there. Poked away and intercepted by the Spartans. Here comes Michigan State, out of their own zone into the neutral zone. That's taken right there by Bergen. Bergen trying to get a shot off. Nice little shove right there from Michigan State. 15 and 20 left to go here in this first period. Anthony Schulte, Derek Steele with you on the call.
Anthony, I really like Central Michigan's awareness on the ice. They seem to be heads up, knowing exactly where the puck is going, and have been very anticipatory. That's a big word, anticipatory.
That's the word of the day right there from Derek.
But they have done a really good job of anticipating where the puck has gone, and they've had a couple really good takeaways from this Michigan State team.
As the puck will be blocked away by the netminder, Rorick. The Central will have it behind their own goal. Kick out to the blue line. That one will try to be passed to Biankowski and be picked off by Michigan State. It's Hubert. Michigan State with it. Biankowski tried to poke it away, and it'll get intercepted by Central Michigan,
Yeah, you mentioned Brooke Hubert being out on the ice for Central Michigan. She's found success against this Michigan State team, Anthony. She had the assist on it was a Caitlin Williams game-winning goal last season in overtime to kick off the season at Martin Ice Arena.
Kylie Delray on the ice right now. She's scored in every single game she has played against Michigan State. Very impressive. She looks to continue that tonight, as there's a shot on goal blocked by Rorick. Battle for it along the boards. Kicked out to the blue lines, Hutchinson will retrieve for Central. She'll take it around her own goal. Kick it along the boards. Here's Hubert. Deflected. The shot from Michigan State to get into out of their own zone. That'll be kicked off. A line switch here for Central Michigan.
I really like that awareness there by Caitlin Williams. She recognized that I believe it was Darche went down in her own zone, realized that they weren't going to be able to get back on sides, so she just dumps it in for a delayed offsides. Play continued, and she got off for the line change. Really good play there by Caitlin Williams.
Along the boards, Leotino had it. It'll be Whitus along the side. Along the side, Leotino against the boards. Here comes Whitus. Stuck in Central's own zone here. Michigan State with an opportunity to goal, and she scores! That was number 29 right there, Natalie Bolin. Last season, she had 6 goals and 6 assists for 12 points. A good start for Michigan State right there, 1-0 MSU.
And this is something, Anthony, we've seen Central Michigan really struggle with on the season, is giving up the first goal. It was a beautiful shot from Bolin as the puck got freed. It was right in front of the net, and a very beautiful job for Bolin to pit it away.
Michigan State will have it in their own zone, into the neutral zone. A board battle taken by Bergen. Here's Zoe Bergen with a shot on goal, and just saved right there by Rorick. Battle for the puck, won by Michigan State. Here they come into the neutral zone. Michigan State, this is Vranos. Poked away and taken by Central Michigan. Here comes Leah Palmer. She'll try to kick it out all the way to Darche. They're going to call an icing.
Ooh, very close icing, but the line judge did rule that as icing, so the puck will go back into the Central Michigan zone. But this, Anthony, is what we're talking about with adversity for Central Michigan, is finding themselves down 1 goal, being down in a game, which is something they're unfamiliar with so far this season. So I want to see them be able to rally back and keep applying pressure to Michigan State.
In the left circle, face-off won by the Spartans. Good save right there by Abraham.
Really good poke check there by Abraham.
Abraham last weekend had that very good game in the first game. Here comes Central Michigan. That's Darche, and it'll be poked away by the Spartans. Saudi will retrieve behind her own net, and she'll try to escape her own zone. Off the stick of number 5, Avery Hayes. And Heaton with it poked away by Central. Back into the neutral zone. She'll shoot it up, and it'll be blocked by Abraham. Michigan State back into the neutral zone. Passing the puck around. Will be picked off by Hutchinson. Biankowski fighting for it. Won by Michigan State. There's Oreski. Over to Hayes. Hayes, and that'll be picked off by Hutchinson. Hutchinson kicks it along the boards. Another board battle here for these two teams. Central Michigan, as we mentioned, really likes to get into these board battles. Michigan State sees an opportunity. This is Cordier. It'll be poked away by Michigan State. Hubert kicks it up to Biankowski. Biankowski will shove the puck down to the other end of the ice. Will be retrieved by Michigan State. Hubert on the pressure. Williams has it now in the neutral zone. Puck being passed around between these two teams very fluidly so far here tonight. As Cordier loses possession, and here comes Williams. Barrels along the end boards. Up to Alfano. Alfano back to Radman. Along the end boards. Taken by Lions. On the side, another board battle ensuing. Whitus being kicked out to Michigan State, but intercepted by Barnett. Mac Barnett, the team captain.
That was a really good job, Anthony, for Delray to be able to tip that puck to negate the icing. A really good job by the line judge to be able to recognize that Delray did tip that puck to negate the icing, and play continues here for Central Michigan.
Puck will be kicked out to Fleeser. Fleeser poked away by Lions. Here comes Michigan State. Michigan State into the Central Michigan zone. They'll be around the end boards and retrieved by Central. Johnson, intercepted by Central Michigan. Up to the Spartans. Sidney Crawford, Central Michigan, will take it again in their own zone. Puck moving around very fluidly, as we mentioned. Hutchinson around her own net. Board pass to Bergen, and here comes Liatino, Liatino, it's a 2-on-2 for Central Michigan, and a save by Rorick. Nice glove save right there for Daria Rorick,
This is something, Anthony, I've seen a lot more from Grace Liatino this season, is she seems a lot more confident with the puck, and she seems a lot more willing to be able to take those shots. And be able to hit those shots on net. That's something we didn't see her do a lot last season. And a really good shot by the sophomore for Central Michigan.
That was Castor and Barrels facing off, and that shot almost in for Central Michigan. Loose puck now in the neutral zone. Kicks it down the boards. Castor trying to win the board battle. She loses it to Michigan State. And Hutchinson will kick it out to Castor. Barrels kicks it over to Larson. Just barely tapped by Bergen, enough to deter the puck's direction. Michigan State passing the puck around in the neutral zone into the CMU zone.
Ooh, good poke check, but a really good, nice save there by Abraham.
Abraham playing very well once again. Other than that, one goal given up already. Nice poke by Hutchinson, deflecting that pass from going any further. Hutchinson, good work right there.
Yeah, Anthony, you mentioned that one goal given up by Abraham, and that's really one that I don't think it's her fault. There's no defenders for Central Michigan in the slot, and it was Barrels, I believe it was. It was Bolin, who just could pick anywhere on the net to beat Abraham, and Abraham just had to guess, and she guessed wrong. So nothing you could do there if you're Lauren Abraham.
Here comes Heaton for Michigan State, and be poked away and taken by Biankowski. And that would be a cross check right there on number 7, Declan Whitus. So this would be a power play opportunity for Michigan State. Again, something we talked about in the pregame show. The penalty kill for CMU has to be a little bit better than it was on Sunday.
I would actually disagree, Anthony. When you're 3 for 5 on the penalty kill, it's a really good job. But when Northern Michigan scored on the power play, it was within the first 5 seconds of the power play. So that's what you want to watch if you're Central Michigan.
1:50 left in the power play. Michigan State.
Good poke check. Good clear.
A good clear right there for Gabriella Nixon. Taken by Barnett. Barnett tries to pass it along the boards, intercepted by Michigan State. Back to Barnett. Barnett will try to clear and will be taken by Larson. Larson in her own zone. Into the neutral zone now. Back Barnett again. Trying to clear into the neutral zone. This is Larson. Larson out to Barrels. Will be intercepted by Brooke Hubert. Hubert over to Williams. Williams down to Hubert, just poked away. Good poke by Michigan State.
Yeah, really good job by Central Michigan to be able to get on the forecheck. Really good interception there by Brooke Hubert.
45 seconds left to go in the power play. And a save by Abraham.
Central Michigan able to get a line change off. Really good save there by Abraham, just being able to stick her mitt out to make the glove save.
Central Michigan, Michigan State digging in on the left circle. Trails had it. Hutchinson and Castor for Central Michigan trying to get the puck. Another board battle right here. Castor trying to poke it away for Central Michigan. We picked off by Bergen, and a good clear right there for Bergen. And a good interception right there by Castor. Here's Annie Castor. Castor, a nice little attempt right there, but it'll be picked off by Michigan State.
And that's what I'm And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about Annie Castor and how she knows exactly where to be on the ice. Another really good anticipatory move by Central Michigan, knowing exactly where the puck is going to go. Good job by Michigan State to be able to keep it in at the blue line, though. But Central Michigan, Anthony, looks to be very confident and doesn't look to be panicked, down 1-0 with 4:29 remaining. Hey, fans, make sure to... Don't forget that the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts for CMU men's D3 and women's D2 hockey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications as you are to never miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. Just go to YouTube and search CMU Club Hockey Network to find the channel.
Dixon and Heaton were digging in right there. Here comes Nixon. Central Michigan won the faceoff. Power play is over. So both teams back to full strength. Heaton, good poke right there by Biankowski. Biankowski with a shot and just off. Good save right there.
Nixon had probably about 2/3 of the net to work with, but unfortunately for her, she just whiffed on that wide open net. That's a play I guarantee you, Anthony, if she has another chance like that tonight, she is capitalizing on that. And you see her go to the bench. I really like to see her head up there, but you know, in her mind, she's beating herself up about that one right there.
Delray, Huber, Williams, Barnett, and Whitus on the ice right now for Central Michigan. Face off in the left circle. Won by Central Michigan. Here's Whitus. Whitus up to Delray. Delray will tap it to Huber. Poked away by Michigan State. And Whitus, another board battle. She'll hit the ice. And here comes Central Michigan. Up to Williams. Williams with a shot, and she scores! Caitlin Williams! What a way to start this game for her. It's 1-1. Central Michigan and MSU tied up.
Holy cow, what a shot by Caitlin Williams. Rourke, that's one that she wishes to have back. Just goes right through the 5-hole. If you're a goalie, you have to go down and make that save. But you know Caitlin Williams is going to take that any day of the week.
What a way to respond for Central Michigan. We were talking about the adversity and being able to play through adversity, and they did so right there to tie this up. Huber in for Central Michigan to dig in at neutral ice. And a good save right there by Abraham off a shot from 41, Amy Lyons.
And I want to see Anthony, Central Michigan, apply the pressure. I know I've said it time and time again here tonight, but if you're Central Michigan, you just tied this game up. You're starting to see the momentum as there's the announcement for the goal. It's unassisted for Williams, but this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Williams up to Delray. Delray, a shot on goal and just off. Tried to go top pocket right there and just off for Delray.
Very good 2-on-1 opportunity there for Central Michigan. Maybe Delray passes that to Williams, but I really like that shot from the alternate captain for Central Michigan.
The aggressiveness right there, you like to see it. Michigan State's shot on goal and it'll be saved. Caught by Abraham.
Something I see Abraham doing, Anthony, is she's not going down into the butterfly as quickly tonight. And that's something really good because Michigan State likes to shoot the puck high. We've seen a countless number of their shots go high, so really good job of Abraham to be able to recognize that and stay up high because it's easier to go low than it is to bounce back up out of your butterfly.
Leontino and Radman digging in the left circle. Won by Central Michigan. This is Cordier in a board battle with 3 Chippewas. And it'll be taken away by Leontino. Another board battle ensuing. Along the half boards. 2:30 left to go here in this first period. Anthony Schulte, Derek Steele with you from Munn Ice Arena as the puck will be finally poked away. And Central Michigan will take it.
Really good job by Central Michigan to be able to get that puck out of their zone. We haven't really seen them hemmed into their zone much. It's been a really back and forth game of hockey, and one, Anthony, that both teams through the first 18 minutes have to be very happy about.
No disappointments here so far. 1-1 game, approaching 2 remaining in the first period. Something about Munn Ice Arena, there is no first intermission. There's only one intermission. It's the second intermission between the second and third period. Derek, what do you think that would do for a team that's really used to 2 intermissions?
It's something, Anthony, that you have to adjust to. And for Central Michigan, they play a lot of road games where it's like that.
And the puck will be batted around Saved by Abraham.
And so for them, I feel like they're able to really adjust to that quickly, but playing on a clean sheet of ice to start a period and playing on a dirty sheet of ice makes huge differences. And so I would argue that might give a little bit of advantage to Michigan State going into the second period.
Especially because they're used to it at their home ice.
Good poke check.
Good poke check right there for Central Michigan. Retained by Michigan State in the neutral zone. A line change here for Central Michigan.
I would like to see Michigan State, I know they're getting a line change off too, but be a little bit aggressive there. They seem to be a little bit passive, and that let Central Michigan set up in their defense.
It's be off the foot of Lapore. Michigan State will take it around their own goal. In their own zone. Pass up, it'll be taken by Hutchinson. Excuse me, Palmer. Here comes Darche. Darche around her own goal, tried to wrap around just off the stick of a Michigan State player. And the puck will roll around the net, taken by a Spartan. Up to Oreski. Castor and Saudi poking away. And that'll end the first period. It's a tied game right here. Michigan State and Central Michigan tied at 1 apiece here on CCHN.
Chippewa hockey is on CCHN,
Oh my goodness!
the place to watch men's Division III
Here's Connor Morgan out in front for Porzundek. He scores!
and women's Division II.
Burnett's going to get a shot and goal, and she scores!
Every shift, every goal, every game,
Central Michigan has turned the corner.
all in one place. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Welcome back to Munn Ice Arena on the beautiful campus of Michigan State University, where we have a second period of hockey about to ensue. Again, no intermission here between the first and second periods. There will be an intermission, however, in between the second and third periods. That's where you, Derek, will have our intermission report.
Yes, sir. Intermission report for second intermission report. Anthony, holy smokes, what a first period that was.
What an entertaining first period. Puck changing possession multiple times, but Central Michigan being able to come out aggressive after giving up that one goal. As they switch sides, Central Michigan will be scoring right to left, MSU going left to right. As here's Michigan State in the neutral zone, and they'll kick it out around the Michigan State goal along the end boards. And a one-on-one opportunity right here for Gabriella Nixon. Nixon, good stick work, and it's saved. Good save right there by Rorick.
Really good save there by Daria Rourke. Anthony, I don't think she saw that puck right away off the stick of Nixon, but a really good job by her to be able to recognize where that puck was, recognize that it was still free and it was still loose, and to be able to pounce on that puck to be able to freeze it.
Line change for Central Michigan. Delray, Whitus, Barnett, Hubert, and Williams on the ice. Of course, Abraham in goal. And make sure to tune in on Tuesday where we have our first episode. As there's a shot by Central Michigan, just off. And that'll be a shot scored! Kylie Delray with her first goal of the year as she continues her streak against Michigan State of scoring a goal.
What a shot by Delray. You like to say shooters got to shoot. If it doesn't go in once, it's going to go in the second time. Whatever your cliches are, I'm here for it. 51 seconds into the second period. Central Michigan is up 2-1.
Central Michigan takes the lead off that Kylie Delray score. That's her first of the year, picking up where she left off last year.
But what an assist by, I believe it was Declan Whitish. We'll have to wait for the official announcement. But what an assist there by, actually, I think it was Hubert. But whoever got the assist, what a find from them.
Michigan State trying to advance it into Central Michigan zone. They will. Central Michigan will intercept. Up to Williams. Williams in the neutral zone. Another board battle down at the low boards. Along the Central Michigan side of the ice. The puck's still stuck in between all those players down there. It'll be poked out.
And I don't know how good our microphones are, but you hear the referee say move it or easy and move it.
Just trying to keep peace down there at the boards. And there's a shot opportunity right there for Michigan State, deflected by Central Michigan.
Not only is he trying to keep peace down at the boards, what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the puck loose. Because what a referee can do is he can whistle that puck dead, and he can pit a face-off. It would be at the left face-off circle right out of the Michigan State zone, but he elects to keep play going.
There's a shot on goal for Michigan State. Just off and she'll score! A goal right there for the assistant captain, Rebecca Alfano. She had six goals, 6 assists last year. She adds a goal to her tally this year, her first goal of the season, and Michigan State will knot it up at 2.
That's another one, Anthony. If you're Lauren Abraham, that's just one that you go, what the heck?
Yeah.
And it's one where you go, you know what? I gotta tip my cap. That was an amazing shot from Alfano.
Beautiful goal.
As she shot it from a sharp angle. That was a really good job by the Central Michigan defense, but Alfano was able to pin it right past Abraham.
Last period, shots on goal. MSU won that battle 8-7 over CMU. Hutchinson into the neutral zone. Michigan State will retain. Stayed along the half boards. And we intercepted right there by Palmer. Into the neutral zone. Simbro, she'll take a fall as Michigan State will take the puck. Into the neutral zone, picked off by Liatino. Liatino trying to weave it in between a couple Michigan State Spartans. Liatino will hit the ice. And behind the goal, the Spartans have it. Advancing into the neutral zone.
That's not good. Liatino a little slow to get up, but luckily she's able to get back on the back check. But she'll skate off the ice.
Around the glass. A substitution for Central Michigan, Nixon. And she'll take the puck. In her own zone, advancing into the neutral zone. Nixon using that speed. Nixon, a shot on goal, and it's just high from Nixon. Another board battle along the sides, taken by Hutchinson. We intercepted right there by Rowe. Jessica Rowe.
Really good job by Central Michigan to be able to recognize that they're offsides and just to let Michigan State go offsides to get the face-off right outside their zone.
Michigan State passing it around in the neutral zone. Good poke right there by Lapore. Well, he shot just behind the goal. And picked off. Taken, by Michigan State. Michigan State threatening behind the Central Michigan goal. Turnaround shot. It's just off. She'll have another opportunity, but it's poked away. Good poke right there by Biankowski. And that shot will be hugged down in the crease by Rorick.
Man, these Central Michigan fans travel well, Anthony.
Yes.
We just heard a "Let's Go Zoe" chant, or not a chant, a cheer from our right, and we saw it last year. It was a Chippewa invasion here at Munn. I would argue that there's a lot more maroon and gold in the stands. And
I would
Anthony,
argue tonight there's a lot more maroon and gold.
I was going to say, Anthony, I think even tonight there's more maroon and gold here than green and white.
That's one thing about all Chippewa sports. The fans come out in bunches.
Did you see the amount of fans?
As here's an attempt for Michigan State, and it's just past the outstretched stick of Orosky. Here comes Central Michigan, a one-on-one opportunity for Williams. Into the Michigan State zone. Williams, she'll shoot, and it'll be just off the stick and above the goal. Michigan State averting disaster right there. Bodies hit the ice. Another board battle ensuing. Be taken behind the goal by Hubert. Puck floating around just past the crease. Michigan State will try to advance it in the neutral zone. Hutchinson will give it back to Palmer. Palmer up to Hubert. Into the Michigan State zone. Central threatening, and that tap will be intercepted by Michigan State.
Going back to what I was saying, though, Anthony, did you see the crowd size at it was Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan game?
Yeah.
What was it? The biggest crowd at Kelly Shorts since, I believe, 2016?
I want to say 2015 or 2016. I did see that stat. In the neutral zone, puck popped into the air, taken by Michigan State. They'll roll around the end boards.
And
It'll be retained by LaForest.
And I think that really just speaks to volumes of the fan base Central Michigan has. This football team hasn't been the best the last couple of years. Granted, they did win a bowl game 2 years ago, but you still see the waves of fans coming out. And I'm excited to see how many people come out for homecoming weekend next Saturday against Akron.
Michigan State along the blue lines. Passed up, a shot on goal, and it'll be kicked above the goal and along the glass. Wraparound shot opportunity. And, Central Michigan averts disaster as they kick it in the neutral zone.
Holy smokes, did Central Michigan just get a huge break there.
Both seem to be wide open. Almost picked off right there by Darche. Into the Central Michigan zone. Good take right there by Bergen. Good job deflecting that.
I really feel, Anthony, a sense of urgency here from Central Michigan.
Yeah.
How are you not going to call that a penalty? But okay, that wasn't, she didn't trip. But I'm really feeling a sense of urgency here from Central Michigan. And if you're CMU, you just need to settle the puck down here for a second and play your type of game and just settle down.
Shot on goal just deflected. And Barnett will put one up, and it'll be kicked up and above the goal. Central Michigan threatening. Here's Castor, the ever-dangerous Castor to start this season. Over to Whitus. Whitus back to Castor. Will just flip over her stick. Whitus trying to look for Barnett, it looked like, and it will go off the boards. Barnett down to Castor and be picked off by Michigan State.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about for Central here. Being able to keep the possession and set up your forecheck and be able to try and pit one past Rorick. Really good chances for Central Michigan.
A good poke right there by Whitus. Fleeser will slip and hit the ground, hit the ice, and that puck will roll along the end boards, taken by Whitus. Over to Barnett. Barnett along the boards. Michigan State will retain possession, taken by Central Michigan. Barnett along the boards, up to the blue line. Back along the boards, puck sliding around the boards here so far. 12 and 12 left to go here in the second period. Anthony Schulte, Derek Steele with you on CCHN. And a good clear right there by Simbro. Michigan State along the boards. And a good poke right there by Fleeser.
Man, Fleeser on this shift for Central Michigan. She's been all over the ice. She did a
She
really
really
good
has.
job. She did a really good job to be able to negate that icing and then be able to get that poke check and get a shot off right there. Really good shift from Isabel Fleeser. And Anthony, she's been a healthy scratch the last 2 games for Central Michigan. So she's really proving tonight to head coach Chris Haney why she should continue to be in the lineup.
She has been all over the place. As the puck is in the neutral zone, batted around between Central and Michigan State. Bienkowski gives it back out to Palmer. Bienkowski now. Bienkowski, it's a 1-on-2. We poked away, retained by Haney. Haney looks to set up Bienkowski, and that shot just off. Wraparound try, and it'll be poked away. Good save right there by Rorick.
Yeah, really good save there by Rorick to be able to keep this game a 2-2 game, or a 2-2 tie, and get Michigan State on the forecheck.
Palmer retrieving.
Icing.
And they're going to call an icing here, excuse me. Line change for Central. Delray and Lepore.
I'll be interested to see what face-off circle they choose. It looks like they're going to go with the right face-off circle, the one to Rorick's left. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and win the face-off, tip the puck to Delray, and get Delray a clean shot.
And face-off won by Central Michigan. Hubert digging in to win that. Hutchinson. I forgot to hit pause on the music here. There we are. Battle for the puck down near the crease. Back to the boards. A board battle could be ensuing. No, Hubert pokes it away. Wrap around trying to set up a Chippewa, and it will roll into the Central Michigan zone. Hutchinson, she'll kick it in the neutral zone. It'll fly past Chippewa's waiting. Here comes Michigan State on the attack. Michigan State, good poke right there. And a good save by Abraham.
Good one-time shot there from the Spartans. But fans, just a reminder that the broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, WMHW, and Moore Hall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, WMHW, and MHTV.
Clear attempt into the neutral zone. Taken by Michigan State. Retrieved right here by Lepore along the end boards. Puck kicked out to the neutral zone. Along the sides, a board battle. Here down the lower end of your screen. Won by Michigan State. Here it's neutral ice. Into Central Michigan zone. Poke attempt. No good by Hutchinson, but she'll kick it out along the end boards. Retrieved by Michigan State. A shot on goal for Michigan State. Good stick save and hug down in the crease by Abraham.
I really like, again, that recognition from Abraham to be able to recognize, hey, you know what? I wasn't able to clear it into the corner with my stick, so I'm gonna trap it with my glove, and that's exactly what she did to get the face-off to her right.
Face-off between Radman and Nixon, won by Nixon. Central Michigan will have it behind their own goal. Here comes what looks to be Lepore to Nixon in the neutral zone. Lepore will take it. Nixon trying to retrieve. Nixon has it, gives it back to Barnett. Barnett up to Bienkowski. A small stick save right there. Puck along the boards. Kicked up to Lepore. The shot will be just off.
I really like that decision making for Zoe Saudi, recognizing that she didn't have the pass to Nixon that she wanted. So she just elected to crash the net and get a shot on Rorick. And who knows, maybe that shot would have went in, but a really good decision by Zoe Saudi.
Along the boards, the puck right in front of the crease. Central Michigan trying to fight to keep that puck away. It'll fly behind the net. Whitus trying to kick it off, or kick it away, excuse me. And a good clear attempt right there by Saudi. An attempt right there, just high from Larson. Behind the Central Michigan goal.
I really like the forecheck from Central Michigan, or excuse me, the back check by Central Michigan. They know their assignments and they really know who's guarding who, and they've done a really good job of not giving Michigan State anything easy. And when Michigan State is able to crash the nets, they do a really good job of crashing with them and making their life a nightmare in front of the net.
A shot on goal, trying to get it through the wickets, can't quite get it there, as a Spartan will hit the ice, and Central Michigan looks to clear out.
Perfect timing for that check there by Central Michigan, right when the referee isn't looking. The back was turned.
A shot on goal just off to the right, and I'll fly behind along the end boards. Williams and Hubert down there for Central Michigan into the neutral zone. Central Michigan trying to get something going here to try and take a lead into the intermission. Just under 7 minutes left to go here in the second period. Michigan State threatening, and that'll be taken by Central Michigan along the boards.
Getting really good back check by Allison Aney to be able to poke that puck into the corner, go retrieve it, and get it out of her own defensive zone.
In the neutral zone, puck being batted around. A good pass right there for Michigan State.
And something I really like, Anthony, about Allison Haney is she doesn't light up the stat sheet, but her effort, her awareness on the ice, her hustle is something that is to admire for Central Michigan. And she's the type of player that she does the dirty work, and she might not score the goals, she might not get all the assists, but she's in there, she's digging the trench, and she's digging the holes for Central Michigan. So players like a Nixon, a Saudi, a Delray, a Castor can get all the shine and get all these goals.
Laval now for Michigan State. Taken in the neutral zone by Palmer. Palmer tried to get to Lepore in Central Michigan's own zone. The puck will be shot across along the end boards. Back along the end boards, Lepore tries to kick it out to Simbro. Michigan State threatening once again. The back check's been looking strong for Central Michigan, as they're trying to attempt to clear, and a good job by Michigan State keeping it in the Central Michigan zone. Central Michigan trying to clear, they get into the neutral zone. And Crawford will attempt to get a good clearing opportunity here for Central Michigan, and a big hit down at the lower end of the neutral zone.
What I really like there is, Anthony, it was Ellie Johnson hitting the deck to keep the puck in the zone for Michigan State. Good play there by Bergen, though, to be able to keep the puck for an extra couple of seconds.
Bergen working hard in the neutral zone. Central Michigan will be picked off by Michigan State. Big hit right there by Bergen. Bergen doing all the little things, it seems, so far here tonight. Been calling her name a lot. Neutral ice into Central Michigan's own zone. This is Castor. Talked about Castor, her hot start so far to this season. 2 goals in 2 games for the freshman. As here comes Darche, and it'll be poked away by Michigan State. A shot saved by Abraham in the crease. And there's a little scuffle down in the crease.
Surprised they didn't get Central Michigan for a penalty there, pushing a player into their own zone as the scuffle was cleared.
Well, folks, it's time for my favorite segment of the evening here, This Day in Chippewas History. This was on October 5th. Now it's October 6th. We found something for October 5th. 2018, CMU women's hockey lost in overtime to Adrian 5-4 in the first game of the series. Jessica Killingback scored twice on the afternoon, but it was Grace Pavlovich who netted the OT winner for the Bulldogs. As play roller zoom, Barnett tries to kick it out.
Man, Jessica Killingback, a name I have not heard for a while for Central Michigan.
Opportunity for Central Michigan, and a good save right there. Good network right there for Rorick.
Really good job by Rorick to be able to just plant her body right on top of the puck, because I believe it was Saudi crashing full speed towards the net to try and poke away at that loose puck.
Nixon will dig in for Central Michigan, and here comes Michigan State. A one-on-one opportunity, and a good poke right there by Barnett. Good poke by Barnett. averting disaster. Back to the blue lines.
And that, Anthony, is the veteranship for Mariah Burnett on play, understanding that she might have been lost in space, but being able to hustle over there and poke check it away at the last second to negate the breakaway.
And here is a 1-on-2 opportunity for Central Michigan. The shot and just saved. Another good save for Rorick. Williams tried to get a shot off. She got her stick deflected. And here comes Michigan State now down the ice. Into Central Michigan zone. A good poke right there by Delray. Here comes Palmer. Palmer in the neutral zone trying to advance it into Michigan State zone. Just over 3 minutes left to play in the second period as a shot. Trying to get it through the wickets of Rorick. Can't quite get there for the Chippewas. Lower end of your screen, into the neutral zone. Williams. Taken by the Spartans. Around the backboard, the end boards. Central Michigan will try to get it out of their own zone. The last place they want to be right now, approaching the end of the period. And a good opportunity right here. Delray with the poke. And here comes Hubert. Brooke Hubert. Over to Williams. Williams back to Hubert. The shot. And Shield. Oh, just off. Just to the right. The folks here thought that was a goal just to the right. Almost a pristine opportunity right there for Central Michigan.
And what I really like is that's Palmer coming over to Hubert after that shot, after that opportunity. Nope, that was Delray, saying, hey, keep your head up.
Yep.
Forget about it. Go on to the next play. You got this. You're good. Just ignore it.
As the refs will discuss. Make sure to stay tuned with Derek Steele as we have our intermission report here in between the second and third periods. We'll go through this game and through the out-of-town scoreboard tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Make sure to stay tuned during the intermission. Face-off one. Here's Hutchinson for Central Michigan. She'll take it behind her own net. Up to Delray. Delray will get it up to Hubert. Hubert up to Williams. Williams, a one-on-one opportunity for Caitlin Williams. Williams will revert back. She'll try to get it over to Delray. Maybe just to the right of her. Hutchinson in the neutral zone for Central Michigan. Just over 2 minutes left to go in this second period. Derek, this game has seemed to have flown by so far. Already the 2-minute mark in the second period.
Yeah,
the 18-minute mark, excuse me.
It's been a really fluid game for both teams. And Anthony, I would argue that might benefit Central Michigan a little bit more. Yeah. They have a little bit of experience. They have their legs underneath them. Michigan State still being a little bit rusty for this being their first game of the season. But they've been up to the task, and it's been a really good game through almost 2 periods.
A one-on-one opportunity right here for Brodsky. It'll be taken away by Central Michigan. That's Castor into the neutral zone. Here's Bergen. Castor tried to take the puck. Couldn't. Hutchinson deflected. Into the neutral zone goes Whitus. This is Castor. In the neutral zone, trying to advance to the MSU zone. Picked off by MSU.
And that's what the dirty ice is going to do. They weren't able to cut in between in the first and second period, so you're going to see piles of, it's like snow. It's basically ground up ice, and it's going to stop the puck. It's going to stop it from sliding. And we saw that happen to Annie Castor.
And a nice glove save right there for Rorick. Rorick's been doing a lot of work down there in the crease.
Yeah, both Rorick and Abraham Anthony have had really good saves, and both goalies so far in tonight's game have just made saves that make your jaw drop and make you go, how did they save that? For Abraham, it was when it looked like it got past her. Somehow, it stayed out of the back of the net. And for Rorick, it was the one when she just basically belly flopped, for lack of better words, on top of the puck to be able to freeze it.
Michigan State in the neutral zone looking to attack. And the CMU zone, all wrap around the boards, retained by Barnett. Barnett gives it out. This is Saudi up to Whitus. Central Michigan trying to advance into MSU zone. In the neutral zone right now. And that's Biankowski. The last name on her back says Tank. Number 27. She is wearing 27 since her jersey is not in yet. Biankowski is.
another Central Michigan legend, Anthony Alyssa Tank. Man, we're going over all these Central Michigan legends, talking about another one, Anastasia Hartman, once again behind the bench for Central Michigan in her second season as an assistant coach beneath Chris Haney.
Palmer in the MSU zone, and a shot save. What a save right there for Rorick.
How did Daria Rorick just make that save? I don't know.
Impressive.
Holy smokes.
12 seconds left to go in this second period. Face-off won by Michigan State. Central Michigan trying to get a goal on the board before intermission. 5 seconds left. Castor, we poked away by Williams, and as time expires in the second period, we have a tied hockey game going into the intermission. Make sure to stay tuned for the intermission report with Derek Steele. MSU2, CMU2 here on CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
First Intermission Report brought to you by CMUWomen'sHockey.com. Derek Steele, glad you could join us on this Friday evening 2-2 tie after 40 minutes here from Munn Ice Arena. If you're a Central Michigan fan, this is right where you want to be. Either tied in this game or ahead and score. A very good 40 minutes for the Central Michigan Chippewas. A big positive for them is Kaylin Williams and Kylie Delray both getting their first goals of the season. Two key contributors to that offense for Central Michigan that were held scoreless through the first weekend against Northern Michigan. So good to see both of them get their names on the scoreboard. Another really good sign for Central Michigan so far is Declan Whitus being the only penalty for Central Michigan. It was a cross-check at the 13:10 mark of the first period. It was a cross-check. As I mentioned, that center to box, Central Michigan was able to kill off that penalty. Bolin and Alfano, your two goal scorers for the Spartans. Both of those goals, honestly, going back to look at both of those goals in the intermission break, both of those are ones that Lauren Abraham Lauren Abraham can do nothing about those. Alfanos being from a very sharp angle, somehow being able to get past that, or get it past the netminder for Central Michigan. And Bolin, man, she was just wide open right in the slot and was able to pin it past Lauren Abraham. Nothing you could do there if you're the junior for Central Michigan. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard for the professional level, the Spirit and Kitchener will play tomorrow over in Kitchener. It's going to be Dylan Clark on the call at 100.5 WSGW. That's on the CHL TV. Saginaw Spirit and Kitchener going head-to-head for the second time this season. Unfortunately, the Detroit Red Wings did lose in overtime yesterday to the Toronto Maple Leafs as they are starting to close out preseason. Their season opens mid-October. It's going to be in New Jersey against the New Jersey Devils. It was a 4-3 overtime loss against Toronto for them yesterday. That game was on 97.1 The Ticket. Ken Kale and Paul Woods on the call for that game. Bally Sports Detroit for the TV. Those two do go head-to-head tomorrow again in the second game of the series from Detroit. 7 p.m. puck drop, Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard for tonight's game, it's the Predators at Hurricanes 1-0. Canes lead last check. First intermission for that game. Sabres and Penguins tied 1-1 at the first intermission. Devils and Islanders 1-0 New Jersey lead late into the first period at the 17-minute mark. Last time we checked at that score, it's the Kraken and Oilers at our puck drop at 10 p.m. from Edmonton, just north of here in Canada. Well, 40 minutes are in the book. 20 more minutes coming right at you after this break on CCHN.
Chippewa hockey is on CCHN, the place to watch men's Division III
Here's Connor Morgan out in front for Porzundek. Scores!
and women's Division II.
That's going to get a shot and goal, and she scores!
Every shift, every goal, every game,
Central Michigan has turned the corner.
all in one place. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Anthony Schulte and Derek Steele back with you here at Munn Ice Arena, where we're all knotted up at 2 between Michigan State and Central Michigan. Here with 20 minutes left to go in regulation, the third period awaits us. Derek, what have you noticed throughout this game? What's really stuck out to you?
Man, it's the confidence from both teams, Anthony. Both Central Michigan and Michigan State have shown a lot of confidence on the ice here tonight, and that's something you like to see if you're head coach Chris Haney and head coach Joe Reese as your respective teams showing a lot of confidence on the ice.
One thing for Central Michigan they've done really good on their back check tonight. Yes, they've allowed 2 goals, but very, very good on the defensive end and being able to clear the puck out or get into the neutral zone to give their offense a chance. As the refs whistle, And we're about ready to get back underway here from Munn Ice Arena. Now, Derek, I talked to Kylie Del Rey before this game today, and she said that after all the practices this week, she feels really good with how their lines are, and they're riding high off those first wins, and she said they're all feeling good, and they're looking good. They're looking relaxed out there tonight. As Nixon is neutral ice to get things going here. Face-off for the third period. Heaton and Nixon digging in to start this third here on CCHN. Won by Central Michigan. Central Michigan going left to right. Michigan State going right to left. Michigan State gets it in the neutral zone. Hutchinson now along the blue line. Up here, Saudi. Zoe Saudi will be poked away and taken by Michigan State. Around the Michigan State goal. Bienkowski gloves it over to Nixon. Nixon shot just above the goal. Trying to put it on top shelf, couldn't. We wrapped around along the boards, the end boards. Michigan State trying to get out of their own zone. Here's Central Michigan. Saudi tries to shoot on goal. No, blocked by Michigan State. Good attempt right there by Nixon to try and salvage that possession. As Williams and Del Rey will skate onto the ice for Central Michigan. Into the CMU zone is Michigan State. Michigan State, a shot on goal, no. There is no score bug here so far. We are trying to fix that for you here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. 2-2 with 18 and 50 left to go. Derek Steele, color commentator. Anthony Schulte here with you tonight. Here's Castor trying to get it out of their zone, out of Central Michigan's zone. Into the neutral zone, Central Michigan. Del Rey was looking at that, trying to go on an advantage attack here. The puck's stuck in the neutral zone. A board battle ensuing at the top of your screen. As Michigan State will go into the CMU zone, trying to attack. Big hit right there by Castor. A shot on goal. Good save by Abraham.
Yeah, another really good save there by Abraham, as we would like to apologize for the no-score bug. This is still a 2-2 game. Oh, nice save there. Kick save by Rorick.
Good save by Rorick. Good opportunity for Central Michigan. Out to Haney. Haney loses possession into the neutral zone. She'll clear along the end boards. Michigan State will retain. I'm going to call a cross-check right here.
Interference.
Or interference, excuse me.
See who it's going on. It's going to be Michigan State heading to the box. That's going to be Sydney Crawford, the grad student out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, going to the box for Michigan State.
On the ice for Central Michigan, Saudi, Bienkowski, Fleeser, Whitus, and Palmer. Here in the Michigan State zone, along the blue lines, that'll be shot just wide to the right. Saudi goes behind the net, looking for a wraparound. Not going to quite get there. Bienkowski with it. Freshman having a very impressive start to her season. Back out to Whitus. Whitus loses control. Will be cleared by Michigan State into the CMU zone. Palmer chasing after it. She'll retrieve it along the end boards. Board battle right here, won by Central Michigan. Central Michigan advancing. Bienkowski will tap it into the MSU zone. MSU tries to get it out, but they can't. Bienkowski pokes it along the end boards. Wrapped around right to Barnett. Captain Mac Barnett into the neutral zone. Taken by Whitus. Whitus into her own zone. Gives it out to Nixon. Nixon will let that hit the board. She'll retain. Up to Barnett. Barnett will get spun around, and the puck will be loose and retained by Michigan State. Up into the neutral zone, try to glove almost right there by Williams. Good interception by Castor. Castor in her own zone. Back into neutral ice. The Michigan State's ice, they're going to try and clear. A good poke right there by Hutchinson. Into neutral ice for Del Rey. Del Rey back on the ice. She scored a goal earlier in this one. Del Rey scored a goal in every single game she's played against Michigan State in her career. Back out Hutchinson at the blue line. Hutchinson down to Barnett. Barnett over to Del Rey. Del Rey, she'll shoot. And it's just off. Good save right there by Rorick. You've seen a lot of good saves so far today by Rorick.
Yeah, we really have, Anthony, and I really like Central Michigan finally being able to settle down the puck and set up their forecheck on the power play. And that's really where we saw them struggle last season on the power play, is not being able to get a true man advantage and not being able to get that true power play going. As there goes the score bug.
There's the score bug. We unhit it for you. As the puck will be cleared into Central Michigan's zone. Here comes Hutchinson behind the net. Hutchinson will get it out to Castor. Castor down the ice into neutral ice. Puck staying in neutral ice. Spartans passing it around to each other, trying to keep it out of their own zone. They've done very good on the back check as well. Hutchinson in the right circle. Tries to kick it out to Williams.
It's 5-on-5 hockey here. Another penalty or power play not going Central Michigan's way.
And that puck will be skied almost into the rafters and out of play into the netting. 15-21 left to go here in the third period. Anthony Schulte, Derek Steele, we're happy we could fix those technical difficulties for you. A tied contest here between Central and State. It's 2-2.
Yeah, Anthony, and I mean, if you're Central Michigan, you really don't know how many more scoring opportunities you're going to get, as there's a Chippewa in the box, was not able to see what the penalty was for them. That's Bergen in the box.
So it'll be a power play for Michigan State. Michigan State on the advantage in the Central Michigan zone. A shot on goal, good save, and good hug in the crease by Abraham. And that's 2 minutes for a cross check, I believe I heard right there from the lovely PA announcer.
Your guess here, Anthony, is as good as mine is.
The left circle, face off won by the Spartans. Spartan looking for another shot on goal, and it'll be in! A score right there for Michigan State. Number 16, Christina Barrels, gives Michigan State a 1-goal lead with 15 minutes even left to go in the third period.
And that, Anthony, is exactly what I'm talking about. Not being able to take advantage of the opportunity. What a shot by by Michigan State, and just like that, they got the lead. They were able to take advantage of that mistake by Central Michigan.
Barrels has been trying to line up that shot for the past 5 minutes here in this period. As much time has elapsed in this period, she's been trying to line up her shot. She finally got one to go. Christina Barrels at the 5-minute mark.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're Central Michigan here, it's not time quite yet to just slam on the panic button. You're only down 1 goal. You have 14:44 left to go, so you have plenty of time here if you're Central Michigan.
Remember last week they did score 2 goals in 30 seconds. So it is possible they're not out of the woods in the slightest here with just under 15 minutes left to go in regulation. Simbro chases in neutral ice. And she'll slap it around the end boards. Retained by Michigan State. Leotino in the board battle, won by Michigan State, trying to get it out of their own zone. Central gets that poked away. Michigan State player down. It's a one-on-one opportunity. Good poke by Hutchinson. Retained, however, by the Spartans. A shot, and it'll be deflected off the stick of Abraham. Leotino now approaching neutral ice. Simbro trying to get it to her along the boards, picked off by the Spartans. Up to Saudi. Saudi has a 1-on-2 opportunity. Her shot just off. A new line right there. Line switch for Central Michigan, as that puck will be shot into the Michigan State side of the ice.
Luckily for luckily for Michigan State, no one got hit by that flying in puck. And the puck is going to stay outside in neutral ice.
Face off won by Central Michigan. Here comes Biankowski now. Biankowski, Nixon will take it. Poked away, good poke by Michigan State. In neutral ice right now for Palmer. Palmer over to Nixon. Nixon trying to weave her way into the Michigan State zone, can't quite get there. It'll be picked off by Palmer. Palmer into her own zone. Back into neutral ice. Here comes Biankowski. A one-on-one opportunity right here. It'll be just off the leg of the Spartans. Board battle right here. Good physicality in this one, Derek.
Yeah, really good physicality by both teams, and they've done it in a clean way, not getting too many penalties.
And a shot, and she scores! What a goal right there by the Chippewas.
Allison Haney, first, do not quote me on this, first collegiate goal for Allison Haney.
We'll check our stat sheets right here. Yes, it is. Allison Haney with her first collegiate goal. And that'll knot things up at 3 here.
As our cameraman Liam Lang just saying that's a clean shot. Again, Anthony, traffic in front of the net, exactly what you want to do if you're Central Michigan. One Rourke wishes she could have back.
We apologize for the confusion on that goal. Here comes Castor. Castor, another shot. And a save right there by Rourke.
And that's exactly what you're talking about, Michigan State. You're Michigan State now, Anthony, but that's exactly what we're talking about, Anthony, is Central Michigan, once they get the momentum back on their side, they're going to fly with it. And that's exactly what they did there. Castor winning the faceoff, going right at Rourke and getting a really good shot on the Michigan State netminder. Right there again by Williams.
A good shot by Williams just off the right post. Puck shot into neutral ice. Chased after by Barnett. He pokes away. Barnett trying to secure it along the boards. Another board battle, wrapping it around the end boards. And Whitus will retain it for Central Michigan. Whitus into the neutral zone, into the Michigan State zone. Whitus flying across the ice. Whitus shoots and just off to the right.
Remember, Anthony, Whitus does have big game experience. She did score the game-winning goal. Granted, it was in overtime for Central Michigan last year. That was the second game of the series against Bowling Green, but she does know what it means to score in big moments.
Castor tried a backhand, couldn't get it through. It'll be poked away and taken away by Michigan State. Retained by Hutchinson at the blue line. Hutchinson will get it behind the net. Trying to get it to Williams and just missed an opportunity. Michigan, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're Central Michigan right here, this is exactly the line you want on the ice. This is what Coach Haney refers to. Oh,
scary moment right there. Abraham being able to stop that puck.
Good save there by Abraham. But as I was saying, this is what Haney refers to as the gold zone, because, you know, maroon and gold for Central Michigan.
Yes.
But this is exactly the line you want on the ice for Central Michigan right here.
The puck is flying into the air tonight, as that's the second time that one's gone into the netting, out of play. In a stoppage.
And the second day of CMU's weekend versus MSU is right here on CCHN. First up at 4:30, the men's team will rematch the Spartans from Martin Ice Arena. After the conclusion of that game, it will be the women's turn to face the Spartans from Martin. Both games will be streamed exclusively here on CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Central had another opportunity right there. It is just through the legs of a Chippewa. Hutchinson at the back line. Hutchinson can't cut it quite through the Michigan State back line. Michigan State in neutral ice. Into Central Michigan zone. We'll go right past Lepore and around the net. Central Michigan, Hutchinson trying to get out from behind the goal. Bergen now for Central. Michigan State trying to get another scoring opportunity, but Central Michigan's back line playing very well, being very disruptive and physical.
Another really good backline stop by Central Michigan. Holy smokes, this back check by the Maroon and Gold has been very good here tonight.
Michigan State in neutral ice. Getting a couple substitutions in. Hubert pokes it away. And a clearing attempt right there by Hutchinson. Can't get it quite through. Michigan State player. And here's Lepore. Another board battle, bottom of your screen. And a good poke right there by Hutchinson. Hutchinson is doing the dirty work here tonight. And that's a score for Michigan State. It looked to be number 18, Alfano, with her second goal of the night. And that gives MSU a 1-goal advantage, 4-3, with 9:51 left to go in the third.
I'm going to argue, Anthony, that that's the real first goal from Michigan State that Abraham really wishes she had back. Just
Yeah.
throw down into the butterfly. Really another good shot by Rebecca Alfano.
Alfano having herself a night. 2 goals so far. Board battle, bottom of your screen. Won by Central Michigan, taken away by Michigan State. Michigan State on the attack again. And a good defensive stand by Bienkowski. Bienkowski behind her own net to Whitus. Whitus to Saudi. Saudi into neutral ice. Good poke by Michigan State. That's Alfano again. And a clearing chance right here for Bienkowski. Around the end boards. And a board battle right there. And taken by Nixon. Nixon over to Bienkowski. Bienkowski shoots and it's just off the pads of the Spartans. Board battle, bottom of your screen. Poked away by Michigan State. Nixon, very physical down there. Bienkowski tries to get it to Nixon just past her reach.
Yeah, really good play there by Michigan State's back line to be able to get that stop.
Williams is taken away. Nixon over to Delray. Delray, she shoots and it's just off the stick of Rorick.
Got to take advantage of those opportunities. If you're Central Michigan, you have a 2-on-none and not be able to stuff it past your goalie.
Palmer will get it up to Williams. It'll be off her stick. It'll roll right back into the CMU zone. 8:25 left to go here in regulation. Third period of action from Munn Ice Arena. Anthony Schulte, Derek Steele with you. State will shoot it into the neutral zone. Here comes Whitus. Whitus over to Williams. Williams. She'll try to sneak it past the Michigan State defender. She can't. Puck dancing around down near the crease. Michigan State will retain. Trying to clear it out in the neutral zone. Retained by Whitus. Whitus to Hutchinson. Hutchinson. Over to Williams. Williams in neutral ice. Back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson. Up to trying to get it to Delray. It'll be picked off by Michigan State. Hutchinson chasing it across the end boards.
You know, Anthony, something I really like from Central Michigan is they're exactly aware of how much time's left in this game. They know that they need at least one goal to equalize, 2 if they want to be able to take the lead, but they're not panicking. They are as cool as a cucumber, know that they still have time to be able to get this equalizing goal.
Puck will roll around the end boards. Met by a Spartan and Darche. Here come Michigan State into the CMU zone. It's a 1-on-2 opportunity, and Palmer will poke it away. Here comes Central Michigan. Darche tries to get it through. No, Bergen's right there to pick up the leftovers, and that'll go off the glass. Bottom of your screen. And a clear by Michigan State. Retained by Palmer. Palmer left circle. Into neutral ice for Saudi. Saudi into the Michigan State zone.
Really good stretch pass there, Anthony, from Palmer to Saudi to be able to connect on the streaking forward for Central Michigan.
Michigan State intercepted by Central. Back into neutral ice. Retained here by Moreski. Picked off by Palmer. Up to Bienkowski, just outside the reach of Bienkowski, and it will roll into the Michigan State zone. (4-3) approaching 6 minutes left to go here in regulation. Michigan State a 1-goal advantage. Into neutral ice now. Bienkowski pokes it up and just picked off the Michigan State.
How do you not call that a penalty? She's holding her stick there. But you know what? The refs, Anthony, have been very equal.
Here comes Delray. Delray, she shoots it. It's just off the outstretched reach of Rorick. Another beautiful save right there from Rorick. Opportunities are there for Central Michigan. And MSU zone into neutral ice. Spartans attacking. An attempt right there, just right of the goal. Hutchinson doing a lot of work down there on the back check. Into neutral ice. Castor now. Castor and Williams subbing. Around the goal, behind the goal. Across the end boards. Johnson was calling for it. Couldn't quite get it out her way. Castor now into neutral ice. She'll get up to Delray. Delray just loses possession. We taken by Michigan State in the CMU zone. Up into neutral ice. Neutral ice, it's a one-on-one opportunity right here. A shot and just off for Alfano, looking for her third goal of the evening.
Yeah, really good save there by Abraham to be able to recognize that Alfano was streaking up the left side. Did a really good job of being able to position herself well to make that pad save.
Kicked out. Here's Liatino. Liatino into neutral ice. Liatino with a one-on-two opportunity to be poked away and picked off by Michigan State. Along the side of the goal, outstretched reach right there behind the net for Williams. Good effort right there, trying to sneak in the wraparound goal. Liatino, puck loose, approaching the neutral zone, and Michigan State will take advantage. It's a one-on-two, two-on-two now. Michigan in Central Michigan will clear into neutral ice. Here come the Spartans. Into the Central Michigan zone. Be taken by Liatino. Liatino into neutral ice. State passing the puck around. Puck at the bottom of your screen. Palmer. Up to Hubert. Hubert trying to get it to Liatino, will float into the MSU zone.
And if you're head coach Chris Haney, you're already thinking ahead about a minute to a minute and a half. You're thinking about, A, when do I take my time out to draw up a play? Yeah. B, when do I pull my goalie in Lauren Abraham to be able to get that sixth skater on the ice, to be able to get that extra player advantage?
Williams shoots it across ice, just right to the goal. Nixon, she'll shoot it, it's just above the goal. Just off, trying to put it top shelf for Central Michigan. Saudi gets it to Barnett. Barnett shoots it right behind. Opportunity at the crease and can't be taken advantage of by the Chippewas. Nixon takes a hit after that shot.
How did that puck not go in by Nixon? What a shot there.
Just outside to the right, outside the outstretched butterfly of Rorick. Loose puck near the end boards. And here comes the Spartans into neutral ice. A one-on-one, one-on-two opportunity, and a nice glove save right there for Abraham.
So 2 minutes, Anthony. I'd imagine, especially with the face-off being in Michigan State zone, obviously you're going to keep Abraham in, but I would imagine that Abraham's going to come out at about the minute and 30 minute mark, or minute left in regulation here, to be able to get that extra skater on, and especially here as both teams take a timeout. We're going to stay right here, but this is exactly what Chris Haney is talking about, is, hey, get this puck out of our zone, set it up on the forecheck. Lauren, know when you're coming off. Look exactly at me. I'm going to wave you off. And this is exactly, if you're Central Michigan, where you want your, this is exactly where you want to be. Well, obviously, besides having the lead.
Exactly. Folks, remember, right after this game, we have our post-game show here for you after regulation. Me and Derek sitting down, talking about this game, going over our players to watch for, our keys to the game, and our 3 stars of the game. Make sure to tune in the post-game show just after this one here at Munn Ice Arena.
Yeah, man, Anthony, this has been a great game so far between the Chippewas and
Very
Spartans.
Very
you know what? We are going to take a quick break, but make sure to stay with us here on CCHN. Never mind, we're not going to take a quick break. The referee's having a different idea here as they whistle both teams back onto the ice.
Both teams will come out of timeout here with 2 minutes and a second left to go in regulation. Michigan State up over Central Michigan 4-3.
We also want to give a big thank you to our cameraman
Yes.
here tonight, Liam Lang. Great job by him being able to work the sticks. You know, Anthony, I think he's doing a better job than I would.
That's giving high praise. Giving high praise, Derek, a wonderful cameraman. Liam doing a great job for us, of course, here at Munn Ice Arena. Our entire CCHN crew here tonight.
We also want to give a big thank you to the fans who have decided to spend their Friday night with us.
Yes.
many other options, including, Anthony, the D3 game over just about, I don't know how far Suburban is from here. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But playing over at Suburban, that game, last I checked, is underway.
Reagan Cleaves, Ryan Donnelly on that call for men's D3. Right now we have women's D2. Central Michigan looking to advance into the neutral zone. They do. Castor gets it into the Michigan State zone.
And there goes Lauren Abraham. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is Haney talking exactly with this team about when to take Abraham off.
Here comes Michigan State. They'll wrap it around the end boards. Hutchinson will retrieve.
Interference.
And they're going to call it interference.
Who's going to the box here? It's going to be Hutchinson going to the box. And Anthony, this is backbreaking if you're Central Michigan.
That's Castor going to the box. Annie Castor going to the box. Number 15. So Michigan State will get a power play for the rest of regulation. 1:17 left to go here in this one. 4-3 MSU lead over CMU. Saudi, Zoe Saudi, Biankowski, Palmer, and Hutchinson on the ice. Hubert will sub in for Biankowski. And she'll take Diggin at the right circle. And it'll be won by Central Michigan. Face off won by Central Michigan. Excuse me. That's number 7, Woitis, in on the ice for Central Michigan. Board battle at the bottom of your screen. Puck trying to be nudged away. Good board battle right there, won by Michigan State. State along the blue line, trying to advance the puck. Good poke away by Central Michigan.
If you're Central Michigan here, Anthony, you saw all the momentum in about a 3-second span go from you back to Michigan State. Back-breaking penalty there.
Approaching 30 seconds left to go in regulation here. Central Michigan trying to tie this game up at 4 apiece.
Interesting decision by head coach Chris Haney to bring his goalie out to get the 5th skater back on the ice to make this 5-on-5 hockey.
Here comes Biankowski. Biankowski will shoot. It'll be just off the pads of Roerick. An excellent night from Roerick despite the 3 goals given up.
Man, Anthony, you're Central Michigan here. You need nothing short of a miracle. 15.4 seconds left. 5-on-5 hockey. There's 58 seconds remaining on the power play for Michigan State. You have to win this face-off.
Face-off won by Michigan State, and they'll try to clear. And that's going to be just right of the empty net. They're going to call an icing.
Exactly what you want to do there if you're Michigan State. Win the face-off. Just shoot the puck down the length of the ice. Yes, you're going to take the icing. You're not allowed to get a line change off, but Central Michigan has their top line on. Yes. They have exactly who they want on the ice, being their forwards being Delray, Saudi, and Biankowski.
Nixon and Heaton digging in. The left circle approaching 2 seconds left, and a board battle will end it as time expires in the 3rd. Michigan State will take this one over Central Michigan 4-3. Fans, stay tuned. Just after this break, we'll have the post-game show here for you on CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey. Welcome back to Mun Ice Arena here on the beautiful campus of Michigan State University, where Central Michigan falls to Michigan State 4-3 in this one here. I'm Anthony Schulte, welcoming back my broadcast partner, sliding on in here, Derek Steele. A hard-fought and physical game here between these two squads.
Man, Anthony, this is a hard one to choke down if you're Central Michigan. I would argue that this one might be harder to choke down than the CCWHA loss, first loss of the season for Central Michigan. But hey, you know what? You got to look at the positive. There's a lot of positives here for Central Michigan.
Yes.
You know what? You can go back and look at that interference call at the end on, who was it, on Castor?
Castor, yes, Andy Castor.
You can go back and look at that. You can argue if it was an interference or not. Regardless, the referee called it an interference, so in the official score sheet, it is an interference. Regardless of that, if you're Central Michigan, there's a lot to be positive on, but there's also a lot you have to clean up.
There's a lot you have to clean up, but also, Derek, like you said, there's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to be happy about. A lot of positives. The physicality, the aggressiveness, not letting your head down, and not putting your head down when adversity strikes.
Yeah, I'm really happy, Anthony, that you mentioned that adversity, because that wasn't one of my keys to the game. But that's something that we've talked a lot about for the Central Michigan team, is being able to face adversity. How are you going to do when you face adversity? And you know what? Even though the score sheet might not show it, I give this team an A+ for being able to face adversity and being able to fight through it. It wasn't a picture-perfect game for this team.
Look, this team fought until the final buzzer. That board battle we saw at the top right corner of your screen, that board battle we saw, that showed the fight and the grit. I'm going to steal Dan Campbell's quote, grit. This team has a lot of grit. It's a very physical team. They don't give up, and they play for each other, and that really showed today, even through a loss, even down, pushing through the adversity and being physical. But Derek, we still have some keys to the game, we still have some
Let's do keys of the game.
We'll do keys of the game.
Yeah, so first key of the game, build on momentum gained from last weekend. And you know what, Anthony? There's a lot we can talk about momentum. Momentum went back and forth throughout all this game. So if I had to grade it, I'd give it about B-.
Okay.
I would say Central Michigan played a really good game. There's a lot, as we mentioned. If I'm head coach Chris Haney down in that locker room back there, I'm speaking very positively to this team. I know that this team doesn't want to hear it. There's a lot of players who are mad about this loss right now, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a very good thing, because that means that this team wants to win, and this team wants to be able to be crowned national champions come March. So if I'm head coach Chris Haney, I'm pointing out the positives, and I'm saying, you know what, we played one heck of a game, and we played one very good game. Second key of the game, keep up the hard work on special teams. You know what? 0 for 1 on the power play. Not what you want to do here if you're Central Michigan. I talked about being able to take advantage of the take advantage of the player advantage. They really didn't do that. But they were 1 for 3, or they were 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. So their penalty kill stayed as good as advertised. Do we got final shots of the game? 25-22 for final shots for MSU.
Big shout out to Todd.
I was going to say, we want to give a big thank you to Todd Palmer, Leah Palmer's dad, for keeping shots for us, as he always does on road games. So a big thank you to Todd Palmer once again.
Derek, final key to the game?
Final key to the game. Let me get back to the point I was talking about. My final key to the game was limit Michigan State's top scorer. And you know what? Barrows did have that one goal. We'll get to that in a second. Heaton was kept off the scoreboard. But I think Rebecca Alfano, she's going to gain a lot of, holy smokes, what a game by Alfano. But I think she's going to gain a lot of attention from the Central Michigan defense tomorrow.
Yes, they are. Or yes, she is, excuse me. Derek, let's recap our players to watch for.
Players to watch for. So the first player to watch for, or we'll go over Central Michigan's player to watch for first. It was Annie Castor, Sandra Biankowski. Unfortunately for them, neither of their names in our unofficial score sheet. We do not have assists for this game, but at least from a goal standpoint, neither Castor or Biankowski scored a goal.
I do want to say something about Castor and Biankowski. They were both, they may not show up in the score sheet or on the scoreboard, but they were both very physical. They were hustling, and they were getting into it on every single little thing that you need to be a successful hockey team. They were against the boards. They were diving for loose pucks. They were very, very, very physical, and that's something you look for. They may not have been big in the score sheet, but they were big on the ice for the Central Michigan team.
Yeah, we've talked about it time and time again in this post-game show, the positivities for Central Michigan, and I think, Anthony, that's one huge positivity for Central Michigan to take away is, hey, you know what? We fought. This is a team who was on cloud 9 towards the end of the season, and I'm saying that they're still riding that high.
Yeah.
They know what it means to be in the national tournament. They know what it means to be able to find success in the CCWHA tournament, so they're still on cloud 9. And by the way, they were the 5th seed in the Central ranking, so they're out for revenge. They're out for a measure of revenge. It was Lawrence Tech that was a 4th seed, but they decided not to take place in the tournament, so it was Michigan State who took their spot instead. So they're out to prove the computer wrong, for paying them at the 5 spot and showing that they should have been at the number 1 spot in front of the eventual national champions in Sioux College.
Michigan State, Central Michigan coming into this, New Michigan State was not going to be a cakewalk. It was not going to be an easy one. And going through adversity, going through all of the hardships tonight, like you said, there's a lot of positives to go through, and I'm excited to see how the Central Michigan team can bounce back and rebound tomorrow.
I'm going to go back to what Brie Mermeluk said for a second in your pregame interview with her. She said that this is a rivalry game. This is one that both teams have circled on their calendar. And let me take it to the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry for a second, okay? We're not at Michigan State-Ohio State levels yet, but that's a game that both teams have circled on their calendar, and that's a game that it's going to be hard for each team year in and year out to win. And that's what this Central Michigan State rivalry, I think, is going to become. It's going to be harder and harder for Michigan State to win these games, just like it's hard for Central Michigan to win these games.
And you're seeing these games, they're very tightly scoring games. They're very close games, whether it's going to overtime or being a one-score game, two-score game. You're seeing these games very closely fought and hardly fought. These teams, they're turning into rivals.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 last games, Anthony, dating back to last year, were 1-goal games. It was the overtime winner for Central Michigan, overtime winner for Michigan State, and now the regulation win for Michigan State. All were within 1 goal. So huge sign for Central Michigan that their team is on the upswing.
Michigan State, I'll do the Michigan State players to watch. We'll recap them. Heaton and Barrels. Heaton, again, keeping her off the scoreboard. And Barrels, she did get her 1 goal tonight. She was sizing up to get that goal all the start of the third period. She finally got it and really started to take that momentum away from Central Michigan. That was the goal that really gave Michigan State the momentum, even though it was flip-flopping a little bit through that one.
Yeah, and I would say that goal is really, I'm not going to say what sealed the deal for Michigan State, but really what made me say, like, darn, Michigan State is probably going to come out on top, is that Christina Barrow's goal early in the third period. It was at the 5-minute mark, and then Alfano pinning her name on the game for the second time. But, Anthony, you want to go through 3 stars of the game?
I will go through 3 stars of the game. Our first star, it's got to be Alfano. It has to be Alfano. 2 goals and the game-winning goal, the goal to ultimately decide this game. Alfano's our first one. And then Rorick, the goalie for Michigan State. 3 goals allowed and the win. Rorick, a very good outing. Even though she allowed 3 goals, she has some impeccable saves.
Yeah, and I really could see an argument for Lauren Abraham also being the second goal of the game.
Very good night for her, too.
And it was a really good, and you know what? Her record will drop to 1-1 because she was the goalie that gave up the game-winning goal to Alfano. But it's still a really positive night for Lauren Abraham. And if I'm Abraham, this is one I'm tucking back in the memory bank because I know that this is a team we're going to see either in the CCWHA or even possibly in the national tournament, given that both teams make it that far.
Both teams are good enough to make it that far, and I'll take us home with the last one. Allison Haney getting her first goal of her career, a special moment for her. Head coach Chris Haney's daughter, a special moment for her getting her first goal of the year.
I think I saw Chris Haney smile about ear to ear on that one. Obviously his back was to us, but I could picture it. His smile being ear to ear on that one. And you know, a special moment for the Haney family, as that is Allison Haney's first goal. Is perfect timing. Perfect timing as the Haney family is walking past. Nope. Leotino family. Sorry about that. 77 Leotino's family is walking past us, our set, as we are on the concourse level here at Munn Ice Arena. It's been fun to see all the families coming out, as we saw the Palmer family, obviously, now the Leotino family. We saw the Saudi family earlier tonight, as it's fun to see all these families coming out to support one another here on tonight. Anthony, any final thoughts for the game tonight?
Oh, it was a fun one. It was a fun one. It was a physical one. Like I said, I'm excited for tomorrow and to see what tomorrow has. Of course, we have that call.
Yep.
You on play-by-play,
Yep.
me on call. We'll be back with you. But our next games here on CCHN tomorrow, men's D2 at Roosevelt Lakers, 7 p.m. for warm-ups to that game. And men's D3 tomorrow versus Michigan State. That's a 4:30 puck drop here on CCHN. 4 o'clock pregame show. That'll be Ryan Donnelly on his first play-by-play call.
Let's go, Ryan. He's gonna kill it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know he's gonna kill it.
He's going to do great along with Reagan Cleaves. And then tomorrow, we'll be back with you, 7 p.m. puck drop. Of course, that time is to be determined depending on the first game, the men's D3 game. Me and Derek Steele on the call with you. I want to give a big thanks to our cameraman, Liam Lang. A wonderful job by him. MHTV for the equipment provided and used for tonight's stream. Derek Steele for manning the producer job and color did a wonderful job through adversity. Adversity, a big theme here tonight.
Oh, come on, Anthony. You can't short yourself some credit. Great first call from you here from Mun Ice Arena.
Thank you, Derek. It was a fun one. But that's it from us. That's it for us from Mun Ice Arena, where Michigan State beat Central Michigan 4-3. Make sure to tune in to CCHN tomorrow as the Spartans and Chippewas rematch. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew here at Mun Ice Arena, I'm Anthony Schulte saying so long and good night.
And we are